You're watching EAC News. Thank you for joining us. Let's have a look at today's finance. The CSX index is currently at 532.80 points, down 2.27 points or 0.42%. The daily exchange rate is 4,045 real to the US dollars. Now a look at what else is happening in finance around the world.
Wall Street ends higher as earnings optimism outshines rising yields. US stocks end high on Tuesday, 19th of April, as investors used positive earnings to advance Wall Street's main indexes and took relief from the two US Federal Reserve officials offering more dovish comments and interest rates than one of their counterparts. We're expecting the US stock market to be a little bit higher, let's call it between 6 and 7%. 4,800 on the SPX 500 index is our target for the end of year. So we think the market's going to be higher. But of course, between now and then, certainly the Ned Fed meeting, where they're probably we're going to hike 50 basic points, will be some uncertainty there. So in short term, I think it is going to be choppy by the end of the year. We think the moderate higher than we are right now. The SP 500 gained 70.79 points or 1.61% to end the 4,462.48 points, while the Nasdaq Composite gained 287.29 points or 2.15% to 13,619.65. The Dow Jones Industrial Average 499.51 points or 1.45% to 34,911.20. Rising bond yields, Ukraine crisis weigh on European shares. European shares posted their worst day in 2 weeks on Tuesday as rising bond yields, worries about the war in Ukraine and a batch of upcoming earnings kept investors on edge, while energy shares outperformed despite plummeting oil prices. The Pan-European lost 0.08% with a defensive stock including healthcare and consumer staples leading declines. All major regional equity markets were in red, but the index ended well at the off-season lows and energy shares rose 0.5% despite the 5% slump in crude prices, and as Wall Street opened strongly on an earnest boost. It's a general concern about rising yields. Bond yields in Europe and United States surged on Tuesday on expectations to tighter monetary policy. The World Bank and International Monetary Fund have both slashed their global growth forecast for 2022 following the Russian-Ukraine conflict. Against the backdrop of elevation inflation, expected rate hikes, and the Russian-Ukraine conflict, the World Bank has lowered its projected 2022 global growth rate to 3.2%. down from 4.1% projected in January, said the World Bank Group President David Malpass on Monday. Due to the high debt and debt levels, 60% of low-income countries are already in debt distress or at high risk of it, and the debt crisis is expected to continue to worsen in 2022, Malpass said at a spring meetings media roundtable. The other big problem for global growth inflation, which is causing immense strain, policies need to be adjusted to enhance supply, not just increasing demand. Amid the Ukraine crisis, the World Bank chief said he is deeply concerned about developing countries which is facing sudden prices increase for energy, fertilizing and food, as well as likelihood of interest rate increases. IMF on Tuesday released a new World Economic Outlook report in which they downgraded its global growth forecast for 2022 to 3.6%, down 0.08% points from its January prediction. And Netflix subscribers fall the first time in a decade, shares plunged 23%. Global streaming giant Netflix on Tuesday, 19th of April, reported losing subscribers for the first time in more than a decade and predicted more contraction in the second quarter, a rare miss for the company that has been a reliable growth engine for investors. The company's stock plunged 23% in aftermarket trading, easing $30 billion in the market value. Netflix lost 200,000 subscribers in the first quarter, falling well short of the forecast, adding 2.5 million subscribers. Its decision in early March to suspend service in Russia after it invaded Ukraine results in a loss of 700,000 members. The company's poor results plummeted other video streaming related stocks, with Roku dropping 6%, Walt Disney falling 3%, and Warner Brothers Discovery down 2%. That's the latest news and finance for Wednesday, 20th of April.